You're 6'5".
I'm sitting here bad-mouthing Justin for not being here, but I feel bad. I forgot they're recording the Model Car Mania show tonight. So
yeah, that's right.
And I'm
There's
looking
no
in.
excuse.
Yeah, but,
Could have waited.
Well, they did a favor for me. They took him. It's sort of like when Michael went to, they did a favor for the Corleones. They took Michael Corleone over there. They took him under. That's what the Carmania guys did for me with Justin. They took him.
Don't you remember? You told them that it was more important to record than it was to be here.
It was.
It's because Jet's on. I mean,
right. Jet's on. It's self-sufficient. Well, listen, guys are starting to come in. We appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Frankie, monitor the chat. Anybody who says anything disparaging about me tonight, I want you to delete it and not put it on the screen. Those are strict orders for you, Frankie Donati. So it's already starting. Any disparaging comments made by anybody in the chat, it's not going to make it to the show. We're going to delete it. Right, Frank?
Sounds like a good idea to me, man.
Well, we're going to have a fun show tonight. It looks like it before. See, it's already starting. Our good friend Jet Scale Models is here. Jet, he goes under his alias. As you saw, Jet is wanted in about five provinces plus 3 or 4 countries. He just got back from Thailand. He was kind of like doing that whole like down under thing, trying to stay away from like civilization, but he got outed. Right, Jet?
Yeah, I did. And the thing is it's good to be back in my good old beautiful country of Canada.
Well, I'm not happy about that. I'm outnumbered tonight. We got 3 Canucks and 1 guy from the the States here.
Got to class up this live cast once in a while, buddy.
Yeah, spruce it up.
Before we go any further though tonight, Rob, I want to ask one thing of you.
Sure. What's up? Can
you please be kinder to Big Daddy Frankie for me?
I'm always Frankie. Listen, Frankie gets my utmost respect. He's a man of his word. He's a good man. He definitely needs a lot of, there's some people who work without supervision. There's, in my job or my profession, it's good to have people who work for you who can do things without supervision. They get their job done, they do it efficiently, and they do it without problems. Frankie, on the other hand, needs constant supervision, unfortunately. So that's something we need to negotiate with when we redo his contract. Again, Jet, listen, people saw the intro and saw like, why is there box arts in the intro? Well, Jet used to do box arts for Dragon, and that's something that we're going to talk about as well, because that's a cool little aspect of him as a model. And not only does he build the models, he was also he did a bunch of box arts for any other companies or just Dragon models.
I think I worked on one for Amusing Hobby when they first showed up. It was the one with the 4 sets of tracks.
Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah, the experimental
objects, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I didn't finish that one up because I kind of was at the tail end of pursuing that goal in my life. So,
listen, you do a good job with that stuff, and I definitely wanted to let everybody know about that, and we want to talk about that. But just to let everybody know, if anybody saw, we did drop a new episode 44 just dropped before we went live. So our new episode for the podcast is live. It's freaking funny. It's a lot of fun stuff. It's a great topic.
Everyone.
The outtakes were freaking hysterical. Sounds like a micromanager. Oh, look, this is what Frankie, you're supposed to delete these comments.
No, I
don't want to see them.
Measy slides me a little under the table.
Misi's going to be on the Misi's going to be on the live cast. Hey, what's up, Steve? Steve's here. Misi's going to be on the live cast the end of March. So we're going to get that Kiwi on end of March. But we have a lot to talk about. We go, again, 90 minutes we're going to go about. Unless it goes south, Jet, we'll just kick you off. I mean, we're hoping it goes well. You act in the build room, that's exactly how I don't want you to act here, okay?
Okay.
So
I'll be on my best beat. Wow.
No, you two.
I'm only kidding. We're gonna have fun tonight. So how about this, Jet? We're not gonna say. I mean, if anybody reads your box art, they can see what your name is. So just if anybody wants to see what Jet's real name is, just read the box arts and what Frankie's gonna show, because it's got his name on it, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about it. How you got in the hobby, what you like to do, give a background to yourself. You do have a YouTube channel, which we're going to, right? Frankie's got that up. I want you to talk about your YouTube channel, how you started it, what you like to do. And that's about it. So take it away, Jet.
Well, I just would like to say that I guess I've really hit the big time on,
Yeah.
on your show. Holy! I mean,
this show is the same. This is the show like on like the Vegas Strip on the outskirts that has the parrots. It's like in the Bulls of Fury where what's his name was playing ping pong with the parrot. That's this show.
Or where the donkey shows happen.
I think it might be big time, but it's really not. You're getting they give you free buffet food and everything at our show, so it's really not that big time.
Don't eat the tuna.
Yeah, right now the
sushi.
Right now the waitresses are pushing the fish because it's ready to turn. So just let you know, that's the type of show this is. So,
well, no, the thing is, okay, like for me, when I sort of first, I guess what it is like I started listening to you guys on the podcast system out there. Like there's other ones, like Plastic Posse, whatever, and then there was that other Sprue.
But Sprue Cutters Union, Plastic Posse, you got the Mojo.
And like none of them really, like they're all too I don't know, Pollyanna, namby-bamby, fucking, like they all have some kind of policy they're working with, or they're trying to push an agenda, or they're they have they somehow come across like they know more than everybody else or something like that. But you guys,
sort of like what Frank does on our show. Frank's that guy.
Hooch.
Well, that's not who I was thinking, but yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
But, listen, every show's good in their own way. Everybody has their listen to these.
Yeah, but you guys shoot from the hip, and you kind of, I like that. I like the fact that you're not so stilted, and Rob, you're sort of like the the lightning rod of the whole group. You have a lot of energy and personality that those other places, they're all worried about how they're going to come off. You don't have that fucking problem, right? So,
well, I mean, like I've said it on the show, you just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're like can convey it or can be entertaining to discuss it. Doesn't mean that you can be the best baseball player in the world. You may not be the best coach, or you might not be the best analyst of a game because you were good at the sport. You got to have a personality. Just because you're a model doesn't mean you can just jump on a microphone and be even like remotely entertaining. You have to have some qualities to it,
Best example of that, Bob Uecker.
Right, the guy was a terrible baseball player, but an amazing commentator.
Yeah, he was.
Exactly.
That takes some fucking serious skill to do that kind of work, right? Like you got to know every player's name. You got to know, and you got to be like sports announcers. To me, that would be a really very hard job, I think.
Well, especially when you're stoned, you can barely figure out what fucking model you're building when you're all toked up, for God's sake. So
and then like the other guy that I really appreciate. I appreciate all of you guys, but like Big Daddy, he's a really funny, hilarious man. And then also Rob Adams, he's
no. You were rolling. You were talking about me and giving me compliments. That's where it should have ended. You once you brought up Big Daddy,
all about me.
You lost all credibility there.
Oh well.
All right.
So the thing is I sort of was like I kind of like heard about this building room, and I don't normally join things and things like that, but I checked it out, and there was a few glitches because my personality isn't maybe easy to get along with sometimes. But
I'm not easy to get along with either.
So the thing is like I've tried other rooms like that on YouTube where you're sort of hanging out with other modelers, but it just didn't work out, so I ended up leaving and not hanging out there anymore. And but when I come into this room, I mean, there are some sort of like personality things, but it's not that big of a deal at my age now. Like the thing is like I think like the longer I live, the more I believe that saying that I used to get told when I was young is that whatever you say about somebody else, you're really saying about yourself. And I find that, being in that room with you guys, it sort of helps me sort of reflect on
Stop banging your microphone first. They're going to give everybody a headache.
I got a Oh, you mean my phone? Okay.
The thing is nervous. It's okay. Listen, the build rooms are great, and that's how we met. We try to promote it on, in here and on the podcast. Our build rooms on the Insanity Discord channel is a great place to hang out and just have a good time. Does it get
for sure.
I mean, some nights we have a lot of people. Some nights we have a smaller group. Some afternoons there's only a few people on, so on and so forth. But we have a good time. Not saying that we don't have disagreements when we're on there. Sure, we do. But it's okay to have disagreements, especially about the hobby. Sometimes we try to not talk about politics in there because everybody's different. Everybody has different opinions, and I respect that. Sometimes
it still creeps its way in, and it
sometimes creeps its way in. But you got to be careful about that. But we have a great time. Like a lot of people in the chat are guys that come in the build room. But overall, it's a great you meet people, we become friends. Yeah. This is what it's about. I mean, it's a great way to promote the hobby.
Yeah, it's not he just randomly showed up one day, just one of the newbies, right? So
shirtless like Todd Barber.
Where did you hear? Where did you hear about the build room? Was it from listening to the podcast?
I think what it was is I listened to the podcast, and then I guess I looked up the podcast on Facebook, and then I think at some point, after a few days or a week or something, then what happened is somebody posted a link to the build room. I didn't know how to get into it, but somebody, I think it was, Tim, and he posted it. So then I just followed that through. And
Tim Berg? Tim? What Tim? Tim who? Tim Rothenberger?
No, I mean, who's the guy that's not here tonight?
Justin.
Bad Santa.
Yeah. Justin's first name is Tim?
Well, isn't there a Tim Ryan?
No, there's no Tim.
No, there's no Tim. It's Justin Ryan. I love that you follow the fucking show. That's you've definitely. We should have did. What was the green room? Who does the prep for this? Frank. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody's asking about. Does Frankie Donati need to get his pay? Now you know why he shouldn't, because he's effing up right now.
You see that? See how he flipped that?
How the hell is this Frankie's problem?
Yeah, I'm going to blame Jet, because Jet, listen
about
your background.
I don't take responsibility for anything. It's always somebody else's fault. Don't you understand that by now?
Yeah.
Yes, Jet. Please.
Okay, moving on.
We're going to talk about models now. Let's stop the podcast. Let's talk about Jet. Jet, give us a background about yourself, how you got into the hobby, and why you do what you do, and your YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I know that you don't. I'm old, so you don't want the whole story. So we'll just start off with that. My dad used to basically build airplane kits when I was a kid, and I sort of came along with him doing that kind of thing. And then, I built cars, I built dragsters and everything, and I used to things like the, a lot of the weird Daniels truck cars, like a paddy wagon and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I used to, so I grew up in I was born in 1960, so I guess I'm sort of a boomer. And I know some people don't like boomers for some reason, but I think we're the coolest generation.
No, I can agree with
that.
Was
before us. Anyways, the thing is
no politics.
It was I don't know. I've always been intrigued by different things. And I remember having a little book of tanks. I must have been maybe 10 or something. And I wish I still had that. But for me, I guess the reason I like tanks so much, I may be going off into several different things here.
Because this is what about. Have fun.
Yeah.
The thing is I think when I was a kid, I grew up in a town where there wasn't that many buildings yet. So whenever they would build a new building, they'd have to dig the foundation with a caterpillar, right? So I used to really like watching the caterpillars and that kind of construction vehicles and stuff like that. So I think that's sort of where my love of tracked vehicles maybe sprouted from. But then I also remember.
That's why you like Mikey Outlaw.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say something funny, but poor Mikey Outlaw is getting ready to record their show, and he's not here to defend himself. But I was going to say something very funny and very grossly inappropriate at the same time. So I'm going to hold.
There also needs to be more construction vehicle models available. Who doesn't like connecting hoses and shit on backhoes and stuff? It'd be awesome, but there's none of that around, really.
Well, I really like them because you can really get into the weathering, right? Like the
Right.
weathering
Yeah, and beat the
aspect
shit
of it.
out of them. Yeah, for sure.
Aging,
Yeah,
you
it's
mean?
really
For you,
cool.
it's the
Yeah.
weathering. For Rob
Aging.
Adams, it's connecting the hoses on those things. He's a weird guy.
Yeah, so I don't know.
like
Like,
hoses.
I mean, I used to build models as a kid and all that, and then like I got the hormones shifted, and my goals in life kind of changed. I wanted to get laid, and so
Did
then
you?
I don't think you were even born. I don't think you were born yet, there, Mr. Rob.
Probably not.
Rob Adams probably
What-
not. Not Rob Adams.
When I popped my cherry.
Oh,
Anyway.
listen, we're trying to keep this fucking PG. Oh shit, I just cursed. We're trying
I'm
to
just
keep
saying.
this PG here, Mr.
He
Jeff.
asked. Anyways, the thing is okay. After I went to college, like in '82 to '84. Then I ended up looking for work doing that, and then I moved to Vancouver. I grew up in a place where it was like 40 below, and you don't give a fuck because you got a heater in the truck, and I'm off to the rodeo. Like
But you're an artist, though. That's what your profession is. You're an artist, right?
Well, I worked
Art
in the
design.
movie industry for 30 years.
That's
now.
cool. I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about that because that's cool. Like you've worked on a lot of different shows and stuff.
Oh, sorry,
Banging
again.
You're banging right now. Yeah, this guy's banging. You worked on a lot of shows, like TV shows, like Supernatural and movies and stuff, right?
Yeah, like I think the thing is like when you're an artist, especially maybe in Canada, because we don't have the population basis like the United States of America does. So as an artist, it's really hard to get money to be able to eat and pay for a house. And
I think it's like that
family.
here too. It's no different. My daughter's my daughter's got
Starving
an art
artists
degree
are
and
known-
she's going to be struggling.
It's a known
So
thing,
what-
being a starving
so at
artist, right?
At one point, I was like in my local dive bar, like commiserating the fact that my life was going nowhere and I was spiraling down into an early grave. A friend of mine across the table said, "Hey, you should apply to the union here." And I said, "Oh, maybe." So I ended up applying, and there's a whole process you go through that, and then I got a call, and I was sent out as a what do they call it, permittee, and I just kind of stuck with it because it paid good, and it was somewhat creative because I ended up going into the art department. So, well, not the art department, the paint department. The art department. I really like working with my hands. And if you're in the art department, you're sitting in an office with a bunch of people and you're sitting at a computer and you're, whereas I like to actually do physical stuff. And like I worked in the paint department. And so, I started off at the bottom as a permit, but, now I have all the different categories that you can get. And I'm basically a scenic artist, but I've also sort of I think I've come to the end of my career at this point too. Like I've been doing it since I became a member of the union out here in '97, and I was working in that before as a permit too. Before that, I worked in the animation industry as a background artist.
Oh wow, okay.
Like when I graduated from Emily Carr here in Vancouver in '91, I kind of was looking for work, and I ended up working at this place called International Rocket Ship. And they're the guys that Marv Newland, he was the guy that made one of your favorite cartoons with Godzilla hitting Bambi. And so like the first gig that I worked on was working with Gary Larson of The Far Side on a TV special for
no shit.
ABC or something. Yeah.
We just had a big conversation about him last night in the room. You weren't there. So that would have been interesting if you were, because that's cool.
Yeah, but then I would have talked myself out anyway.
But that's really cool. So let's get on let's get to the models here, because now everybody's like, hey, this is a model.
Hold on. Let's get to the artwork.
Let's do the artwork, and then we're going to talk about the models.
We'll do the artwork for it.
You've done some, you've done some, because I'm a German armor guy, so obviously I'm familiar with a lot of these box arts, like with the 38Ts, the Panzer 1s, even the T-34 76 you did. But this is a pretty pretty famous box art for one of their kits for their 8-rad, the 234-3. This is right.
Right. Yep.
So how do you go about doing your box? I saw Frankie. There was like, you know what? Why don't you show the T34, Frankie? Because I think he's got the sketch before it was inked, which is pretty cool, or before it was colored.
So I liked this one only because only a true modeler, right? Somebody who knew his stuff would actually do the 8-rad with
different tires.
Different tires, right?
Right. But this is okay. This is the box art for the T34 that you sketched, right?
Yeah, basically what I like to do it, and I don't think there's that many artists out there in the world that don't do it. I like to work from references, right? And
Right.
Even guys like Ron Volstad and that, they'll use a reference and then they'll make their own image from that. But my technique is like, ever since I was an artist, like I say, I mean, we only have 90 minutes. Like it could.
But you could talk about it, because I think people find this to be very interesting, actually.
Okay, well, like I've always wanted to do, like hyper realistic artwork. Like that's one of my anxieties in life, is I wish I could just loosen up and do abstract art and not worry about things. But I'm always like really tight with my ideas and what I want to do. So I work from photographs a lot. Like I even, like if I do my fine art, I'll take photographs of the model or something like that, and then I'll work from that. And that's what these are. This is like, believe it or not, these are two 1/16 scale kits that I had at the time when I.
That's how you got the reference, from looking at the kit?
Well, not only that, but you can get your angle and everything that you want perfect, right?
Yeah. So basically, I set this all up so that it was like, it's sort of just like what we do with our models now when we present them on Facebook or something, where you're taking a photograph from a point of view that you want. And like, fortunately, I have these two to sort of like, put together. And like, I like to do a lot of research on things. And like, from what I gathered, this is sort of like, I wanted to put it like in Kursk, but apparently, I don't know. Somebody was saying there was only one tank that got blown up there. I don't know. Anyways, like
I don't know, but so you do this all out and sketch this in pencil then to start.
Well, I think what I did on this one is I can't remember, because every time I would do one, I would push the technique one way or another. Like I would do something different, and this may have been done. I can't remember. Like if I did it like on the computer with like a drawing pen, like from the photograph, or if I drew it somehow. I can't remember. It's so the long
tracks.
ago now.
Did you draw?
You can draw that shit that fine on a computer.
Yeah, my daughter did our podcast caricature or whatever thing.
No, I understand. I get that, but this is like more detailed.
Those tracks, the track links. Did you draw the tracks individual? Was there like a? Did you?
Yeah, because that's the thing is like. That's why I always was trying to pick Ron Volstad's brain whenever I had any kind of like interaction with him about, because like for me, I always like, you'll see in my work is that it's like a lot of it is like very like I'll paint every blade of grass, and same here with the treads on these tanks, is that I get right into the detail. But when you look at Ron's stuff, it's sort of like he just suggests it, right? And it still works. So, I guess we all have our own style. And I guess, I haven't looked at these images for a very long time, and they don't look too bad, I mean,
but you colorize this then, like what? How did you color? How do you color?
No, this is all painted with a brush and gouache paint.
Oh, you painted this? There's a painting.
Yeah, like with paintbrush, and I usually would do I would do the skies usually with an airbrush, because it's like clouds, so you want to have that feeling of airiness.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody watching this in the chat, man, this is also.
Yeah.
I don't know if you realize all this stuff. But this is great how you did all this, man. It's like amazing.
So that first sketch that we saw, is that this, or was that just like a working drawing and you did it again or whatever? Because it just looks slightly.
Oh no, I think I don't remember. You see, what it is I usually have. I think it was like a piece of artboard, like about like that big. Like it's basically 100%, not like big, and then they shrink it down. And I think what I did is I think I might have done something where I projected it onto the illustration board, and then I drew it onto the board, and then I paint on top of that. So I did have some other images like of in process stuff, and I'll see if I can dig that out for you, Rob, and I'll show you later.
But this is really cool.
Yeah,
man.
no. And like I said, my kid's in art school, so any kind of cool information that I can pass on to
well,
him.
it's basically it was illustration board, and then you put your drawing on that, and then you paint on top of it. And I was using gouache paint because it doesn't have reflectivity when they do photographs of it for the printing purposes of it.
Right. This is the one that I'm familiar with because this is from their Panzer One A Desert, which I've always familiar with, and this is really cool.
Thanks.
I love this drawing.
It's one of the ones I don't really care for, but I know
why. I mean, this is great. I mean, because not only that, but that figure comes with the kit, right?
Let's address this. Sorry, 1 second. Red Beach 1. That's really cool. The box art was from a Dragon kit, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's from
he's the guy who did it.
He's the guy, Rob. Rob is actually our guest on our episode 44 of the podcast that dropped today. Rob from Red Beach One Studios. Yeah. Even though I call it Red Beach Studios on the podcast, I forgot the one on there. He never corrected me. But yes, Rob. Jet that did all that did a lot of different box arts. So you're familiar with these Dragon box arts. He did them.
Yeah.
See, like that was 2 Panzer One things that I had propped up on styrofoam in a position that I wanted, because I have like a whole bunch of reference books, and I always used to buy photographic reference of these, and I always really liked the Panzer One. And the thing is like this reminded me of some of the early exercises like that they had sort of like on a sandy kind of like soil beachy thing. And so I kind of like, usually what it is you'll see something and that tweaks something in your brain that makes you energized about wanting to follow it through. And sort of like, then that sort of takes you on a journey to how do you get there. And for me, this was like, I had 2 Panzer One 1/35th scale model kits that I positioned just on pink styrofoam. And then I would just fill
stop
in
banging. You're
else.
Banging your desk too.
That was my wedding ring. Sorry.
You're banging all over the place. That's the last warning. No, but listen, I gotta ask you a question. The Panzer Gray is perfect. So how did you get your Panzer Gray looking right on that though? What'd you use? That's the biggest.
Just mix the paint. Like I saw some guy, and nothing against him, but he's got this whole formula of mixing colors, where it's like he's coming at it as a scientist, like this English guy. And I'm like going, wow, how to take the soul out of what we're doing,
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'm an artist, and that's what I write on my tax return, so I can say that. And the thing is like you have to be able to mix it with your eye. So that's what it is. And when you're saying that this is a good gray, I don't know, it looks a little light for me.
I like it
compared to the real life thing. But then also you have to kind of like.
Well, you got to snazz it up a bit so that it grabs
what
people's
YouTube
attention,
channel?
right?
You know what you should start doing on your YouTube channel? And I'm going to tell you, because I still watch like Jim Lee and stuff. They're doing the sketches of like superheroes. People love artists sketching and drawing. If you ever did one series of videos with you drawing a box art, even though might not get taken by any of the companies, people would freaking go crazy, or would probably really enjoy watching you with your cameras overhead. Drawing, right, Frankie? Drawing a box art for a model. I'm telling you,
I agree. I think that's a great idea.
People would really find it hell of an interesting, because you do a good job. Like this box art for this Model 1, I remember when this kit came out, and I remembered how cool it was that you have the area where there was a top over there where the Panzer Gray is showing where they painted around the top and then obviously took it off. I always felt like that was really cool on the box art, and obviously we're friends, and you freaking did this box art, which is so damn cool.
Well, cool. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, with my modeling, I guess, follows through into the artwork, is that I want to portray reality as much as I possibly can. I'm not so much into, what ifs or, stuff that, just make up your own design. I mean, people are welcome to do that, but I I'm more interested in chasing down the real information and the real research. And
This
for
is from
me,
the interior kit. That's the box art for the Peds of One interior kit.
I love this box art. I love this kit, and this is I love this picture. I've actually done a couple of builds where the whole sneaking past the wall sort of thing. This one's out, and then knowing now that you're the guy that did it, and I saw this like 20 years ago, is very cool, Jeff.
yeah, well, thanks a lot, Frankie. I appreciate that. I mean, this one I was kind of happy with. It kind of like feels good. Like sometimes when you do a piece, you kind of go, I don't know, there's something wrong with that, you know. But you know, this one I was kind of happy with. So
if people can see your signature under there by the back idler wheel, J Tanton, so they can kind of figure out that Jet is obviously your initials to your name.
yeah, my name is Jamie Tainton and I used to be in the modeling realm back in the 90s. Like I got back into it like after, you know, going to college and all that. Like we started with the typical story, but then I got back into it in the mid 90s, and I was building a lot of stuff like modern, you know, from the Gulf War stuff. And then I transitioned into German World War II stuff. And I had a German girlfriend when I went to college here, among others. And I went to go visit her in Germany, and I went to Munster. I went to Koblenz. I went to a whole bunch of other places. And, you know, like I'm always fascinated by, fascinated. I always liked German armor better. And
yeah, because I always find it more interesting.
I think that's a way more realistic German gray, right there.
Darker, yeah.
In my
yeah.
And
No, that's one of
the
my
birds are a nice touch too. They really are. No, I'm serious. That it just brings it to life.
Tracks
you know
are
what
on backwards though, but it's okay. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is like, where was I going with that? Is that I got back into modeling, and you know, one thing led to another, and I was like I joined Missing Links. I think I joined in 2002. Like
the heyday. That was the heyday back then.
Yeah, I used to hang out there, so there was a lot of research going on there. I used to actually work almost
Planet
as a
Armor,
moderator. Right? Huh?
Planet Armor too, right?
Well, I used to hang out with TrackLink, you know, with the Canadian, the other one, and I ended up leaving that place because of just I didn't want to be there anymore. And then I ended up
issues,
something like that, authenticity issues.
Oh,
and the thing is like I ended up going over. I met some guys on this one platform or forum. It was forums before Facebook, right? And one of them was called the Modelers Underground, and it was sort of like, it was called Mug, but it was like sort of an elite group of modelers. And from there, I met this one guy, Gordy, and he is a sculptor who used to do a lot of figures and stuff like that. And he had a whole sort of like thing like you do with a franchise here and there of different forums. And one of them was Planet Figure, which is the one he was sort of doing, and then Planet Armor. And then I ended up working on Planet Armor as a moderator, basically. And, you know, that's where people like, Rick Lawler would, you know, kind of started in there. And then there were other people. And then that kind of fizzled out too. And then I ended up getting my own called Armor Workshop. And then I just got tired of dealing with, you know, forums and updating stuff. And I got busy with work, and, you know, so I just kind of let that whole thing go. And I don't know. I think I got into a lot of photo etch stuff too. You know, I used to really like you talk about Tony Greenland, right? And I remember seeing one of his things in the back of a Nashorn. I think it was a Nashorn Nuts and Bolts book.
He did a lot of those.
He did some amazing stuff that just energized me to sort of start going in that direction, right? With soldering, photo etch and all that stuff. Because I felt that was sort of like worth pursuing. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I've hit a brick wall with talking. Ask another question.
Well, listen, this is what the Sherman 3, the Desert Sherman 3, right? I think, right? If this box art, right?
Yeah. Yeah, whether the paint job is accurate or not, at the time, that was the best information we had. And
No, this is great. I mean, listen, people in the chat are loving it. People watching are definitely enjoying seeing this. And like someone had wrote that they didn't realize that you did this, and now they're just finding out because you don't go around and just say it. You know, this is definitely a cool part of the hobby that is not really represented as much, you know, box art.
No, but if you got the skill to do a painting like that, you can sure as fuck paint a
right.
model.
I mean, you look at
around
Jason
well.
now. I don't know what Jason's last name. We just know him as Jason, even on Facebook. And I talked to him. He sent me a bunch of stuff when he did stuff for a couple of. He does his own accessories and stuff, but he does like the box art for like Ryefields and Mang and some other companies are always commissioning him out to do box arts. But like someone wrote, I think it was Scott actually wrote about how he thinks AI is going to take over.
it already has.
You know, take over doing
But
the box
you
art.
can use it in a positive way, though. Like I find that, you know, like I don't like seeing a lot of I don't even like the stuff I do. You know, when you punch in something, you know, and it comes out and you go, it's cool, but it's not real, right? It's not. Yeah. It doesn't feel.
You know what we need to do with AI?
But the thing is, you can do it. You can use it as a jumping off point, though. Perhaps,
right. You know what we're going to start doing with AI for this show? We're going to AI hair on Frankie's head.
Why?
We're going to go in there and we're going to go shave hair on Frankie Donati. I want you to style it like John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever.
I swear to God. I could die with
I don't know. I think he might look better as Pulp Fiction Travolta.
This is great.
Yeah, like long and definitely mullet head. We need you to have a mullet.
Comb it, right? Be like
all right.
Zed.
So how about this? You know, we're already 40
40
minutes in and we're having a good time. This is actually going really good. Let's see some. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, full disclosure, you're definitely a much better artist than you are a modeler.
Well, I appreciate that.
No, I'm only kidding. You are definitely on an RSO kick, which is I give you a lot of credit. The mini art RSOs, but we'll get to that. So hold on. So what build is this? That with Frankie starting off with this some random? Is this what is it? What's the?
So this is the Amusing Hobby KF51 Panther.
Oof.
Yeah, this is just like early construction shots here, and the track is fully articulatable.
Say that again, really fast.
Articulatable.
No, just
articulating.
Articulating. Yeah, that works.
Interesting. Now this is Amusing. I didn't realize Amusing Hobby gave workable tracks like that. How are the tracks on this guy? Were they? I mean, a lot of cleanup, obviously, right?
Well, the thing is like, you know, a lot of people don't like working with tracks, but for me, you know, I don't know what to say to those people because you know what? If you're going to build tank models, you're going to have to build tracks, and if you want to do good tracks, you're going to have to work with single link tracks.
Right.
And so the thing is like single link tracks need to get cleaned up. So you just have to have the mindset that it's all just part of the gig. And also, I don't know which one was it, the early feed me. What, you know, with the plant.
Little shop of horse.
Yeah, like when that guy goes into the dentist's office and he really loves the pain.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Steve Martin was the dentist.
Well, wasn't it?
To
who
be
was the
a
guy
dentist.
Rick Moranis was Seymour. Bill Murray.
So
was
anyways,
yeah,
the tracks are all part of it, and you know, I don't mind doing the tracks.
Wait, this is the Amusing Hobby Kit. This is oh, interesting. Okay, and this is
like this is a more modern kind of a leopard tank. Proposal that was out, and I kind of was drawn to this kit because of
it's cool.
It certainly doesn't look like an actual.
Right, you did the digital camo on this stuff too, right?
Yeah, this one's got the digital.
Yeah. Did you make masks or did you just use strips of tape?
We'll show you.
Well, the kit actually comes with it, right?
Oh, really?
And but the thing is I ended up cutting some of my own because I have a cameo silhouette cutter. Yeah. So I ended up making some of my own that I had to use to replace some of the other ones in that. But the kit does come with it. And you have to have a whole sort of strategy of how you're going to do it. And for me, I've always thought that, you know, you want to work with your lightest color first and then come back with the darker colors on top of that. So that's sort of what I did.
Wow.
Holy fuck! There's got to
Yeah,
be an
so-
easier way than that.
Yeah, so you can see they have a color illustration there for you to follow, and
Definitely keep
But
your
that-
hands out of the picture next time, though, Jed. Oof.
Oh, he's
Look at those-
fine.
Look at those mitts, bro. Forget about it. He's like the first person in his family that's standing up straight. Look at those hands.
Yeah, but look
Oh,
at that
you
paint
did
job,
a
though.
really interesting with the dude. You did a damn good job on this camouflage, though. That's a lot of, like Robbie said, man. Wow, that's a lot of work to do that. All that masking. Wow.
That is.
Wow.
yeah, this is one of my earlier videos on my channel as well. So if you want to see the whole full,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big filler inner guy with like Tamiya tape. It's expensive. I'll take a card or something and keep it away.
You do.
You know,
Well, that paint, you know, you can
to
get
save
that,
on all that tape
that-
and the risk of damage to your
you can get that paint off of Amazon for a lot cheaper than without the Tamiya name on it.
so that part there that's the remote machine gun that they have, and also that little thing lifting up. There's I think drones that get launched out of there.
Pretty
Yeah,
damn
those
cool,
are-
man. This is a cool vehicle, man. Really freaking cool. Really
Yeah,
cool.
and everything looks real nice and clean and tight. Like,
Well, I wanted to have some what do you call it? Aging on it, like that had been in the field, but it's also a demonstration vehicle, so I didn't want to go crazy. And you can see the reflective parts and all that sort of like sighting stuff. Some what I remember when like Russia invaded Ukraine and stuff like that. Well, what happened is like,
We remember
Yeah.
it's still going on, actually.
oh, okay. But the thing is like, I ended up like, I looked online and because like I'm always looking for aftermarket shit. Like, and
Right.
so what had happened is like I found something but it was from Russia. And at that time, everybody was, oh, Russia embargo, everything. But I ended up like wanting, because they had these like, the prismatic kind of like things pre-cut, right? So you just have to take, it's like a decal, but like they're sticky backs, right?
Okay.
So
what? Designed to fit the model kit?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Really?
And the thing is, it's like some of the things like the rear tail lights and stuff like that. There's no way you would be able to do that. Like, I mean, you could if you were really, really, really like into it and wanted to do it. But the thing is like, there's like the rear sort of, this thing had them and I just put them on and it was perfect. So,
Fuck yeah. See, that's
but
that's like the Red
Yeah,
Fox instrument panels and all that shit, man. It's
yeah, you see like the headlights in the front, there's those 4, 5 little ones. Those are all like from that aftermarket thing. Whereas trying to do that as nicely, it might be really hard. So some of those 3D printed things are pretty useful, like 3D printed, control panels for airplanes and stuff like that.
yeah, man. It's
But you can see down here, like you can see down in the those rear tail lights, there's like thin strips, right? And
Yeah.
to get that as perfect without those 3D printed decal would be pretty hard.
Yeah. That's a whole leopard suspension, right? Yeah. But this was never made. This is one prototype of this they did or something.
I don't know. I think there was a couple, but the thing is, yeah, basically it was just mounted on like an existing leopard chassis
Okay.
with a different kind of turret system.
Well, no, this is still going through. This is the next gen. This is the new Panther. It's going to have a 130 millimeter cannon on it.
Leopard, Frank.
Oh, really?
Come on, man. This is-
No,
Leopard.
it's being
Let me down.
called the Panther. That's the
Get
name.
out of
Yeah,
here.
it's
Calling it a
called the- no.
panther again?
Yeah, it's a Panther.
Oh, I feel bad. I just put. Yeah. Let's see someone say something. Like that.
We're bringing it
Why are
back.
they calling it a panther for?
Because they wanted to.
They're not
Because
supposed to.
Why
Germans
not?
Germans have a tradition of naming their vehicles after cats.
Yeah, but they already had their panther, for Christ's sake. They're gonna call it something else.
This is the new Panther. This is Panther 20, Panther 2.0, baby.
Not just cats, but also like other animals, like the nashorn, right? The nashorn and other shit.
Yeah, but that's not a tank. The tanks are all named after cats. So
Yeah, there's already a panther. They're gonna screw everybody up. It's not a
No.
panther.
It's a Panther 2, baby, 2.0.
It's another
It's a
cat.
panther
It's
too.
well, they-
Yeah.
Hold on.
It looks like a great sequel to me.
The gut bird is what? Cougar?
the Gepard is a cheetah.
Cheetah.
Gepard
Where's
is
their
cheetah.
cougar? Did they do a cougar?
No,
You
they're
did a
dating her
cougar,
still.
didn't you?
Speaking
We
of
call
the
it a
Gepard,
MILF.
Yeah, Debbie.
speaking of the Gepard, I did one, and I did it in the cheetah spots and all that, and that was one of the more
I gotta
difficult
call the
weathering
powers
things.
that be over there. They gotta name it the Cougar, not the Panther. It's already been a Panther already. That's not right.
Too late.
This is what I'm talking about. Like how to lightly weathering a vehicle, I think, is harder than fucking just weathering it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to keep the thing when you see it from a distance, it looks clean, but when you get up close, you can see it's been used.
Right, restraint. You know, you got to restrain yourself.
A lot, and it's not the easiest thing to do. It was a good.
When are you going to start doing that, Mr. Rob Adams? When are you going to start restraining yourself, please?
I've restrained myself all the time.
Cougar's rules. Yeah, right. That's right. Listen, if you look, when I was doing the Leopard A7 for the mag, when I was painting it or getting ready to paint it, I got a whole bunch of, like, Dave Grum had sent me like all the PDFs of the stuff that he did for his Leopard book. So I had a lot of pictures to go by references that were in training. And I'm going to tell you right now, some of those leopards were a mess from their training exercises.
Oh, yeah.
Like dirt and mud from like the top to bottom. I mean, it was a mess.
In training, they're probably more abused during training.
Probably.
Well, it's funny though, because like I did like when Meng came out with their sort of like one of the more modern like Leopard A5, I think it was. They get
it off. These Canucks, man, they're taking over subliminal messages.
I had a reference book that had this one tank out in a winter operation. I mean, and you know, like the thing about leopards, they can be boring to look at because, you know, when you look at a German World War II tank, maybe the side things are off, you know, and this and that. You can do some. Well, the thing is like with this Leopard A5, I had a book that showed them out on a winter like operation, and some of the rear, you see those side skirts, they have to take them off under certain conditions, otherwise the wheels get all like clogged up with mud and snow or whatever, right? So that's sort of like. But when I posted those on, I got some German guy coming back at me because this thing was filthy, right? It's been out in the field, it was dirty. Germans would never have a German tank like that. And I could have showed him the photograph and said, look, I'm just working from the photograph, you know? So
where it proves that they did.
Yeah.
There you fucking go, man.
Well,
you should have done that.
So these are photographs I took of I went to a place in Alberta.
I was going to say, wow, this is a great model. This is a real vehicle, right?
Yeah,
no, this is a real one, and I went to it's called the White Whale, and it's in Namao. It's up above Edmonton, which is the capital of Alberta. And I went there. I had a buddy of mine, Anthony Seawards, who went to Afghanistan.
I know Anthony very well. Yeah, and
he got me to come in here and take some photographs. Now you'll see this one here. This is the front fender that was on this Leopard, and this is a mine clearer kind of like they're not on there right now, but you see that's how the front of the fender is mounted, and it's missing, and you don't see that on models. And you guys are always going on about making unique look.
What do you mean? We didn't talk about nothing. We didn't start that fucking argument.
No. Previous shows. Like it's like like everything's got to be unique. But you see, what I decided to do is I'm gonna. On the left, you can see there's sort of like this rubber covering over the front end of the fender. And on the other one, I've removed it, and I'm scratch building this mounting point, right?
Mm-hmm. I see.
And
that.
I also, So that's sort of like trying to make it unique. I've added some weld beads, and I think I replaced some of the front towing, whatever you call those things.
Do you have any pictures of the actual weld beads on the real vehicle? Just curious to see the type of welding is on. Because
well, that was
these ones here are like a double line, right? Like at the top, you can barely see it there.
Yeah, you can see.
And I'm using like what do they call that stuff? The glazing putty, you know. And I change it every day. Like if you look on the right hand side, there's sort of like a lifting hook. and it's actually
Yeah.
got sprue that I've sort of glued on, and then I melted it, and then I poked it with a knife, and I get a different kind of weld bead than the red stuff, which is like a glazing putty.
My buddy Jim Gould.
Yeah, because it's not like a machine did it, right?
My buddy Jim Gould has got a really interesting way to do well beads. How he does it, he puts like craft paint in a syringe, and he like he actually does the weld, like and then he squeezes it out, and then he makes
dabs
like
it out.
Yeah, Jim, you know, you've met Jim, haven't you,
Yeah,
Rob?
I've met Jim. Yeah,
And Jim does it. If you ever look at his models pre-painted or his models painted, you'll see.
So he's laying dimes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like in
hard.
the industry, like if we're doing something like that, what we'll do is we'll take a caulking gun, and we'll do the same thing, like where we kind of like make it look like a weld with a caulking gun, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Anything you can go like, back and forth, like just.
Yeah, but Jim does that with a freaking syringe on.
I know, that's
It's
crazy,
pretty
man.
interesting,
That
yeah.
guy's got.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Thanks for that idea. Okay, now here, what you can see here is like on the top, what I've got there is the gray stuff is actually supposed to be a non-slip material that is on the top of Canadian.
Yeah, I noticed
birds.
that on the real photo. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what I use for that is I mask it off, and then I was using Mr. Surfacer 500 that I thinned down somewhat, but also, I sort of spittled it out of the airbrush. So then you get that nice texture.
Hold on a minute. Sorry, Matt. You know what? I'm looking at these comments. This is what I'm talking about, Frank.
What?
I mean, who? I'm looking at the wrong screen. There's so many disparaging comments coming into this chat that you're not policing.
We're just
Sure, Ann. Did you
we're
see
letting
it
them.
pop up?
We're
Did you
letting them
see-
slide.
Did you see this pop up? You didn't see it pop up? Did you? Huh?
Where is it?
There's one about you being a little guy. See?
Right here.
No.
No,
with cats. Did you
Wait.
see that one? You didn't see? So
I
shut
saw
up.
that
take
one.
care
I'm
of ya.
ignoring Cat tonight, but this one, 2.0, unbelievable, man.
Oh, he's
It's
not
not-
wrong.
it's
You
not a
didn't know,
Panther
and you are a little.
2.0.
You are a little imp.
Well, I know, Frank.
I'll show that picture that Jet sent me later on about you.
Do you have a better picture of this? Stop banging, Jet, for God's sake. You're banging like a crazy over there. You're getting all excited. You're a professional.
Banging like never mind.
But here you see. Here you can see the paint
Wow, this
starting.
is a sweet. Go back to another picture, Frankie. That's a nice build, Jet. You did a really good job on this guy. Really good job. Really, really good job on that build. Solid.
Thanks.
And
Yeah,
that
like I'm trying to.
And you
I'm
did that
trying to match.
anti-skid? You did that on anti-skid? You did that anti-skid?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he was showing before.
Dude,
yeah.
that's great, man.
Right
Wow.
there.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's a lot of masking there too. Fuck.
Very nice. Wow.
Do you sound it down a little bit after that? Like there's
No.
some chunkies,
Yeah.
Sometimes
Really
they're
well,
really
they
chunky,
stay.
Robbie.
It all comes out in the wash.
Okay, gotcha. Just asking.
Yeah, no. It depends, I guess, on what the reference is, and I guess I didn't really.
You
I
know,
might have done that, but I don't think I did.
Jet's get
I
all
might have done
defensive.
it.
Just ask the guy a question. He gets all crazy here.
What?
No, it was kind of an invasive question. I'll give it that.
I'm kidding, dude. It's a joke. It's really good,
All
man.
good.
Really good. Yeah, really nice.
Thanks.
Yeah,
No,
no,
who's
that's
big-
So yeah, you know,
friggin'.
Who's
That's a
based in-
complicated looking
This
motherfucker.
is
Right
Meng?
there.
You said this is a Meng kit?
Tacom.
yeah,
Tacom.
yeah,
Talcum?
Tacom.
Talcum. Okay. Talcum.
We know how
Tacom.
Riv loves Tacom. There you go.
Okay,
That's
so like
fucking
the
beautiful.
Canadian flag there is like what I did is I used my my stencil cutter to cut the stencil of white and black to match the original.
Really
Yeah,
good.
that's fucking awesome, man.
You did a good job, man. Really good job. Wow.
Hold on, go back.
Cheers.
Go back to the model of the disc. Is it in layers like the real one? I'm sure it is, but like
The disc?
where
Yes,
the
what he
Canadian
did.
flag is,
Oh.
where the maple leaf is.
Yeah, he just said he did a white and a black.
No,
Yeah.
no,
he's talking
no.
about
I'm
the
talking
disc
about. Okay,
itself.
go back to the real picture. See how there's multiple. It's either a triple weld or.
No, it's one.
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's a
right.
double weld, it looks like, Robbie.
Well,
That's
there's
a
double
almost
weld.
three there.
Oh.
That looks like three.
Three,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Now, what is that coating on the outside? What is that? Like that looks like a waffle.
It's a rubber.
Rubber. Okay.
Yeah.
Rubber.
That's us Canadians. When we go to war, we like to be prepared for everything. So we always wrap everything in rubber.
I'm rubber,
the
you're
Ger-
glue.
I
Why, you
think
gonna
the
get some
Germans
venereal-
have that as
You gonna
well
get some
too.
venereal disease?
Yeah.
Gotta wear rubber on everything.
Well,
Hey, I thought you were supposed
hey.
to keep it PG, man.
I just said venereal. I didn't say
That's-
declap or anything or gonorrhea. I said venereal. I
Rib,
tried
you got
to
to
be,
buy these for
I
two.
try to
so
be
it doesn't get syphilis.
scientific, man. Yeah, I didn't say you're gonna get syphilis for Christ's sake, and your nose is gonna fall off. It's a venereal disease.
Don't worry about much of them, anyways. There's a pill for everything.
Just take some penicillin again. Call me
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you'll be fine.
You're burning.
So the chains for this one
Anyways.
obviously are not positioned correctly for the photographs because gravity would drag them down, but I was just too lazy to deal with that.
Oh, what the
So
chains? Nah, but that's okay. This you did a
they're photo etch.
really nice
And,
job on this one. Really nice job on this.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, this is a great model. Fuck yeah.
Really nice job on this, man.
all
really
the
good.
all the sand, like the dusting and everything. I don't even know if you call it dusting.
Well, it's kind of matching the pictures I took of the real one, right? Like I was trying to go for the same patina.
Yeah, patina. There you go. That's the right word. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, man. Love it.
Yeah, really nice.
This
Yeah,
is my favorite
there's,
so far.
There's more than one way to paint green. Hint,
Well,
hint.
you know, as a
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah,
who
Brad.
grew up, as a kid who grew up playing on these things, I played on these as a kid because my dad was in the Dragoons, and that's exactly what they looked like. You'd get fucking filthy and oily.
Yeah, and it's not, nobody's detailing them with a fucking toothbrush. You know what I mean? Yet you hose it off with a pressure washer, and it is what it is when it dries, right? I would imagine. I'm not saying that's always the case, but
I think some places they have wash stations and they just drive it through. So this one here is a different leopard that I was working on. What's it from, Frankie?
That there is a Meng Leopard C2 Mexus with dozer blade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've decided with this one I'm going to make the power pack like a little dial with the power pack coming out.
Oh yeah.
Frank,
Like working on the interior like without the power pack and what that would look like, and that comes from a kit like that you can buy. It's from Germany. I don't remember the name of the company right now, but you can just
look at that. That looks real as fuck.
Thanks. Yeah, and then like these were from the references I have tons of references of leopards and like maintenance, and so I'm trying to match what's in the photograph.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Like they're not clean,
Oils, oil paints to do all like the mud in there, or is that acrylics?
I have no idea. It's probably a mix of everything. It's
How do you not
probably
know what
like,
you use to do your effects? What's wrong with you? Did you take a severe blow to the head recently? What's the problem?
because that was a
because
long
he's-
time ago.
He's like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know what paint I used. I did something. I don't know.
Well, it's a long time
don't
ago.
buy into it, Jet. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then what you'll see here too, these are like I always like aftermarket tracks, right? And I always like more than others, although now 3D printing tracks are pretty cool too. But I used to get Froy model tracks and all that, but these ones are from a Chinese company. You just go on eBay and you can find stuff. And this one here is all like metal, and then you have to actually glue the rubber pads on.
I know the company you're talking about. It starts with a C, doesn't it, Robert? And that's
That one
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. I've always been a cheap bastard, and like I've never really bought aftermarket tracks.
Yeah.
So with this one, I decided to open up the back like storage boxes. So this one was going to be full option because I wanted to maybe show what would be in there. And then the one on the left is just going to be maybe propped open. But there, like, for example, that's what they would have in there. Some
the jerry
bottles of
cans and stuff.
oil or whatever.
That's it.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they have something else some other day, right? But
Seems like
sort
you
of
could fit some more shit in there. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
If I'm out in
Yeah,
the field, I want as much shit with me as I possibly can carry.
cooler full of Pabst Blue Ribbon for you.
Yeah,
So
totally.
basically, I'm scratch building that box there because it doesn't come with the kit. But
No, that's really cool that you did that, Chad. Tell you open that all up.
well, it's just a
Smoke dischargers and everything on the
yeah
sides.
progressive shot.
The interior of that engine bay looks fucking really good, Jed. I'm a little disappointed that you don't know what you used to talk about it. To be honest,
Well, I use lots of paints. I use
No, I don't
washes,
want to
I
hear
use
it now. I don't
pigment.
want you. I don't want you guessing. You don't know. You already said it. Don't start guessing what you used, for Christ's sake. You did a nice job, though.
Cheers.
If you don't know how to describe it, then we're suspect on if these are your pictures or not. We're gonna have to go through the internet and use Gronk and say who made this model, and it'll tell us. Right, Frank?
Well, anyways, you can see on the wheels on the bottom there, I have this sort of pet thing that I like to do where, looking at reference photographs from Afghanistan, I did notice that there's this sort of like spinning off of, material as the wheels rotate. You're going to have some trickle of force. So I like to do this little trick where I'll mount the wheels on a rotary tool of some sort, and then drop some whatever paint like Tamiya buff or whatever it is, and then just have it naturally sort of take that spin. And which reminds me of when I was a kid and we went to Klondike days, you would see those spinning painters, but that's a whole other subject we can talk about some other day.
That is a nice touch for painting for sure. Like,
the thing is you got to make it look good and not phony.
Yeah, it can't look like one of those spinning things that they give to the fucking autistic kids or whatever, right? Like, not one of those fidget spinners. But,
okay. So here, like what I also did to make this more authentic is there was this company that put out these decals that were specifically made for specific vehicles that were in Afghanistan. And I believe this was our good friend, Mr. Anthony Seward's. And he'll probably say, no, that wasn't me, you idiot. But I think you'll notice something up there, Rob, that says, Rob Adams, that says, I love Alberta beef.
I know.
Yep. I know this exact. I've had conversations with Anthony about this. I can't. Okay. It came with either the TACOM and the main kit, and I can never remember which one. But that decal actually came with one of them.
Right. Well, this is the aftermarket decal sheet that I got.
Cool
for it.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I love their little Africa Core ripoff in the bottom, eh?
Yeah, why not? Tankers are tankers, right?
Yeah. A thankless job.
Yeah, there it is. The bumper sticker.
So, like, I'm always working towards trying to make it look as authentic as possible, which includes getting maybe a more accurate aftermarket parts, like I think, I'm not sure, but like maybe on this one, you could get like those rear rubber flappers on the back of the mud flaps there. You can curl them up or let them down, and so other things, like making sure all the tow cables are positioned properly, like how the mud would all kind of where it would be located and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a very authentic finish is what you've given this.
But you can see like
realistic.
Thanks. On the side, you can see there's some scratches, and like I'm trying to work from photographs because Anthony, he's got a whole series of I think you can still buy them where he's got photographs of these tanks in action in Afghanistan and whatnot.
Yeah, he's got it. There's one where it's buried right in the sand, and basically all you can see is the barrel. It's pretty cool.
So there's a shot of it with the dozer starting to get integrated into it, and the headlight systems. But I like dozer blades because they're another sort of playground where you can get into, how the metal is going to look. Is it going to be rusty? Is it going to be this, or is it going to be that? And I always kind of like, default to maybe overdoing the rust, because I think if you look at real ones, they're not so rusty. They're more shiny.
That looks really good. You did a really nice job on that point.
However, if you're in the right environment where, say, humidity rises, the shiny metal will look like that in the next day. You know what I mean? Until it gets used again, and then it all comes off.
Yeah.
So it's morning before it had its coffee. It's okay.
Really good. Let's go to some German stuff. World War II, Frank.
Well, hold on. Before we do that,
no leopards?
No,
come on.
Hold on.
Listen, Jet, don't tell me you're not running this show.
Just to add you together.
Go full screen so I can go pee.
Here we go. It's already starting, folks. You see?
This is that.
Okay, this is
right.
Yeah, this is an RFM like power pack for the Leopard 2, And so basically working again from reference material online and from books and
You just
whatnot.
carve it in black?
Yeah, I use Mr. Surfacer 5, what is it, 1500 or whatever, black. I usually do that.
That stuff is.
And
like
this is like the, what do you call it, the water hairspray technique, you know, of getting chipping going. So trying to match that orange was one big thing I want to do. Also, you'll notice down below the exhaust pipe, it doesn't come with that texture. I ended up making my own from, I think it was a Band-Aid, a fabric Band-Aid. But that's sort of the texture that the Realman has.
Yeah, I like that. I found a brand of cheap masking tape at the dollar store, and I've been using that as that asbestos wrap around exhaust also. But that one there looks really good.
Cool.
I'll keep.
So yeah, this kit is really good. It's got a 3D printed part in that see the lifting tool on top there that sort of like hooks into some spots on the engine and the air conditioning system there.
And the cotter pins, the cotter pins, did you do those or did it come with them?
They come with the kit.
Nice. Well, you did. I mean, it's just an engine, but just to show you, right? Like just that alone could be a standalone kit from the detail. You did
a really good job on that, Jeb. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, that thing is amazing.
Yeah, this one is like on my channel too, the build process and how many steps I took with it.
Sorry, I missed. Is it mini art? It looks like mini art.
It's RFM.
No, it's RFM.
It's RFM. Okay.
RFM. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And
now what's the color of the engine now? What's the color?
I think it's just like a NATO green. But what I like to do is like, okay, you'll notice the top thing, the crane or whatever it is, the lifting thing. It's a different green than say the air conditioning unit or whatever. Like I try and mix it up because maybe it's been put together from different,
sure, the part came pre-painted from another factory. It's not gonna be
or one's been in storage for a while and this one's been used, and so I always try and make something look more interesting. Like if it's going to be green, maybe shifting it around. But I also am not into doing things like you got a green truck and you put a sky blue door on it. I mean, that's just so everybody does that.
Passe, baby. But
yeah,
you go for your reference shots.
Yeah. So this is like in the Namao in the where we were keeping all the Canadian tanks there. So these are all Leopard 2 A4s or something, I think. No, Leopard
2A2.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you'll see this is one of my more involved builds where this is called a Taurus, which is a Canadian version of what's the name of the kit?
This kit here is the hold on a sec. It's the Tacom Berg Panther 2A2.
Yeah, and Canadians had it, but we call it a Taurus, and we also made some adjustments to how storage is on it and stuff like that.
But just to show you how important reference is, this is his reference photo, and this is his kit.
Well, you did. Jet, someone keeps banging. Some keeps banging their microphone. Is it you, Jet? They keep banging.
No.
Banging. Someone's banging. No. Is that you, Frank?
Nope. No, not banging.
Someone's
nothing.
Banging.
My microphone is nowhere near me.
So. Someone's banging. It's either you, Frank, or Jet.
I just chewed an ice cube. Maybe that's what you heard.
You're banging your hands. And you're banging.
No, I'm not. I'm going to sit back here.
Sit back there. Now, this is awesome, man. Wow. Go back to the reference, and then I want to see this model here. Now go to the model. Dude, you did a great job, man. Look at this.
Yeah, so like all the markings and that, like I did on like my silhouette cutter and that thing down below the artwork, that is an engineer's badge. And I ended up making a decal of that and putting that on.
Wow.
Like making your own decals is not that big of a deal.
No, you did a great job. I love it to see it. I want to get a silhouette cutter, and I've been thinking.
Well, I got to tell you, I hate my silhouette cutter. Like,
okay,
I hate it because it's fucking possessed or something, man. I don't know. Anyway, talk about it some other time.
I mean, but
so here, this is like the what it looks like in real life. Like, there's all these sort of like yellowy kind of like specs, because this is actually
Is that
near
like the
the
primer
end.
color then? Like a yellow?
I would think that's what it is. But
Yeah.
the thing is like, this is actually in Calgary right now. It got retired and is in a museum in Calgary.
Which museum?
I believe
I've never seen it.
It's Google it.
Okay.
The thing
Google
is like,
It's at the
thing
Nanton
is-
Palmer Command Museum.
No, it's not.
Nice
good
little-
one. All right.
Listen to the next episode of the Insanity, episode 44, and you'll know what Frankie's doing.
So the thing is like, this is named after a guy that got killed in Afghanistan, a soldier, a Canadian soldier. And contrary to what some people think in the world, that we didn't really contribute anything, we contributed many people that passed away because of that. And anyways, what you see here is sort of like, this is not completely finished, this kit, even now. But you'll see that box on the back there. That is actually like a unique item that is on the actual recovery vehicle that I kind of made out of wood, and then I painted with a crackle medium, and then painted on top of that to get that crackle effect. Also, the toolbox that you see there, that was printed up by a friend of mine in Alberta, and he, because I was trying to figure out how to make that, because that was a unique feature of a Canadian Taurus, and they,
Yeah, that looks. Do you have a picture of the real box?
yeah, there should be something in the setup I sent you.
I'm looking.
Really cool, man. Wow.
And they use cheap
Banging.
steel to hold it up because it's rusty as fuck. Right?
Well, it's just raw metal, right? So, although I think that other stuff must be aluminum because it's not rusted.
You can see it up there, Rob.
In the
Yeah,
very
you
back.
can't see the texture that well.
No.
I was curious.
Yeah,
still.
it's a little
I'm sure that
overkill.
Jet replicated it well, like without a doubt. Just interesting.
There we
So
go.
now you can,
Okay.
yeah, like the crackle medium is a little bit over exaggerated on the model kit, but yeah, just give it some fun.
Dude, I love how you did the warped wood on top too, which is pretty cool. You represented that pretty good on the tank too, on the model.
Yeah, like I think I got stuck. I have to find a hinge. I was trying to figure out how to, like, I even started pursuing a photo etch, making my own photo etch hinge for that top, you know?
Yeah,
I
that's
bought
not
all the
too
material.
difficult.
I bought all the material, like the acid and the whatnot.
Yeah, but you don't need to do that hinge. That's easy. You can probably just use a file and just, use brass sheet and round it out and then like make a hole in it. Yeah, that's not that. You don't need actual photo etch. You can scratch that. That's no problem. You could do that, Jet. You would be able to do that. No problem.
You
good.
might be right.
You're good. You're good.
I'm leoparded it out. So let's go with.
I'm leoparded out. Now you're leoparded out. I wanted to move on before, and you give me a hard time.
Well, everything he
This is the
said
Frankie
was
Donato
either,
show. You know that, right?
everything was a leopard. So we'll finish off. This is his last one.
No, the
Is
RSL,
it?
right?
Yeah.
Already?
Already.
Okay.
Goes fast, when you're not having fun.
Mm-mm.
Well, this is just from I think like
What's mini
20 years ago.
Well, this is the
No,
new
this-
one. The older one.
This is an Aber photo etch.
Oh, the Aber one that you did, right. But I just got to make full disclosure. You went on some weird, like almost like cult-like thing with the RSOs for mini art. Like you,
Oh, yeah.
you like there's obsession. There was like, Hinckley, whatever his name was. Who's the guy that shot?
He's not done it yet.
Who's the guy that shot John Lennon? What was his name again? Chapman.
Chapman.
We don't want to say his name, okay?
Right. Like you're on like a weird like David Chapman or whatever the hell that guy's name was, is like fetish with
Fuck
like
that
Jodie
guy.
Forster. Like you're that with the RSO. Like you had an obsession with it. It was like really odd. Just to let you know.
You might be right.
All right. So here
Well,
we
I
go.
don't know. There's something about it. I think it's sort of like the same idea that it gives you a lot to play with as far as aging is concerned.
I don't know, man. There's nothing about the RSO, even the gun one, that's even remotely interesting.
So these are all. This is like an artillery kit from back in the day.
That's the old guy. Yep. That was the
Yeah,
only one that was available.
And this is like a 3-part Aber kit set that you could get, and
Yep.
like this was sort of like a real.
And you
foray
did a hell
into-
of a job on that the flooring where you could put the ammo in. I was very impressed. I hope you got. Yeah, look at this thing. All photo etch where they have the ammo in the flooring, and then they have the little you know, the grates to put on top. I mean, you did a great job on this. Now, this is slightly. Remember we were talking, we didn't know if the Aber set was right or the kit was right when it comes to the length or the width of it, right?
Right, yeah.
So one of them was off a little bit, but you're never going to get the exact measurements. But you did a fucking spot on good job on this, man.
Well, the one from Mini Art is smaller than this one from Aber. But I also think when you look at it on the drawing from a Panzerworks, or not Panzerworks, I mean Panzer Tracks, it might not be the right size too, but you know, I don't know. You
did a great job on this, Jet. And what did you do for the
pieces on the gun and shit too? Fuck.
Yeah, no, Jet does good stuff, man. This guy, you know, this guy does a really good job at the photo etch. Now the sides, the wood sides, now is that like balsa wood?
No, that was like you know, coffee stir sticks. And in the movie industry, we have a trick where we'll age wood down by chemically introducing something to make the tannins turn gray. Okay. And that's what I did with this stuff. It's kind of unpredictable though, because you never know how it's going to turn out. I think iron sulfate, I think I used for that.
Interesting. Okay.
But there's different techniques. You can do like if we're on a TV show or a movie or something and we want to make the wood look old, we can use different things like vinegar and steel wool and tea.
Okay,
like,
tea, yes, tea, yes.
Well, what'll happen is you'll get a chemical reaction where the tannins that is in the wood will actually interact with that chemically, and then it makes
Isn't there tannins in the tea as well?
Well, that's why you use the tea. The tea is to introduce more if you need it, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now this is the Mini Art kit, right?
Yeah, this is the Mini Art kit, the first one in my experience, and having been with the what do you call it? The Italeri one. This is like, and also the Dragon one, which came out, and I've got a few in the stash that I haven't built yet, but apparently there was some controversy about that one as well. So the thing is this one here, maybe, you know, knowing Mini Art, they have, you know, probably one of the more accurate, detail orientated kits. So it comes with an engine, for example, right? Yeah, and it's fairly well done. And one of the early things that I encountered, though, is like when I was on Missing Links, I posted pictures of my build here, and people were saying, look, I had to cut this engine all to fit it inside. And the thing is like that was on the cabbed one, not on the one with the gun. Yeah, but I hadn't built the cab one, so I was going, well, I don't know what the problem is because mine fits. But
on the cabbed one, they made an error. But remember, I did this for the magazine. Remember, I kind of built this right after you built yours. And I'm going to tell you right now, my experience with the kit is vastly different than yours. I hated every minute of it. I never want to look at it again. It actually
that's all right.
It went well, and I mean, there was really no issues, but I just was not a fan of it. I'm like, I never want to see another RSO again.
And Jet, I love the fact that you have this thing propped up on 1/35th scale.
Milk crates.
Test crates. My man.
Yeah, those are some images printed up by my buddy as well from Alberta, who I needed some stowage for my leopards, so he made some stuff up for me, and I thought, that'd be kind of funny.
But you did do a great job on this, Jet, even with the painting and stuff. It is a good kit, though. I'm sort of joking.
It's Mini Art, man. Like we've always said.
Well, the thing about Mini Art, like one of my earlier Mini Art kits was a Gaz AAA vehicle, and like they actually have I've built car models all my life, and you know, the thing is like they're always super simplified. If you look underneath, it's like you know, it's just like crap. Anyways, Mini Art, they actually give you the brake linkages and stuff like that, and it's like it's like a whole new level. I mean, the difficulty level is like up there, right? Because, you know, it's so fragile and everything's got to line up, and not only
that, but working with the plastic and cleaning the parts is
I think challenge. Like when I built their one of their early dozers, the plastic was very brittle, but I don't find that their plastic is so brittle anymore.
No, it's not as bad since they moved their operations to Poland. Now it's not as bad as it was. Those are Panzerwork design tracks we both used, right? Those are excellent.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty nice. And I think I've got 2 or 3 other sets ready to go.
Yeah,
for
very
other
good.
RSOs.
Persimac from Panzerwork Design sent me a set, and I reviewed them in the magazine. They're phenomenal tracks. Excellent.
Yeah, well, they
Excellent,
look fucking awesome. So
excellent tracks.
Okay, so these are just progression shots of how I'm sort of like priming it, and then I'm doing the base color, and then I'm doing this rust color so that I can do like chipping later. Here's we're working on the actual gun and then the gun mount.
Yeah.
So are you actually highlighting everything, or is that just the lighting?
What do you mean?
Paint wise?
No, he does
I'm
some
not sure.
highlights to his paint. He's asking if you do some highlighting, the lighter parts to the
Like
paint.
on
Are
the
you
on the
highlighting?
primer coat before you're laying it down, right? Like, are you doing any
You
appreciating?
mean like
appreciating? Let's call it appreciating, whatever.
not on this one.
No,
I do it on airplanes, but you know, I find that a lot of that stuff, like with the marbling technique and all that, by the end of the day, it's just not worth it because it disappears anyways, right? A lot of that stuff, and
a lot
with
of it,
tanks,
but not all of it. That's the thing.
like for airplanes, I think it's a good thing. But like you can see here, there's not that many planes.
I like the marbling technique on a plane, like Jet's saying. A marbling technique
I totally agree. That's
not
where
on
I
a
use
not
it
on
at.
an armor, not something like that's so unrealistic. Fucking marbling.
Well, the thing is like there's not too many flat planes on here. Like they're not really that big.
No, I know,
so
but
it's not-
like a marbling technique on an armor kit is just so unrealistic because that's not how they paint freaking.
No. You're getting it confused a little bit. Like
No. I know what you're talking about, like the black and white with the marbling technique underneath the base
Right.
coat.
But you can still
So
blend.
here, what this is like because the mini art kit does not have the interior where the ammunition was stored. I decided to add pain to my life and make one myself. And what I actually did, like, I'm forgetting a lot of this stuff because we're just going through this so quick. But like, for example, I actually cast this platform with, pink RTV rubber so that then I could, you see those like covers. I wanted to be able to have those covers in scale and perfect. And so I made a copy and then I sand those really skinny so I can put them on top of this. And then what I did is I basically, I used the kit one and I cut it all up, but I also had a backup because I'd done the mold and I could resin cast something if this all failed. But this is actually, I had to do, I think 2 or 3 iterations because later on trying to fit the ammunition in, it was a bit too small compared to the one that Aber had.
Right.
So like I actually had it built up a couple of times and then had to rebuild it. But
You did a really good job on this, Jet. This is really cool how you did that. Really, really cool.
well, I don't know. It's an okay, but I don't
you
even know
did
if
a good
it's
job on
finished
it.
yet.
And I know this is all on your YouTube channel, right? The way you
Yeah,
do
this
it?
one's on the YouTube channel.
Now this is the gun. Is this it's the gun to the R? Is that the
No, this is a Pack 40. It's an anti-tank gun.
right? Oh, is that a different
Yeah.
gun? That's another gun that doesn't come. Is that the gun that comes with the kit?
No, that's the gun that comes with the kit.
Right. Okay.
And
I
so-
got a little messed
so
up for a minute.
So I'm kind of like doing a dark, sort of like rusty primer color because like on top of this is going to be, airspray technique.
So you're going to be chipping it.
Yeah, you can see there
Yeah.
on that part there is starting to happen. So I'm just following the color
Hold on.
call out that comes with the kit.
So on Steinman, this is Steinman, right? Is this Steinman? Whose dog
Yeah,
is? Is that
yeah,
Steinman?
that's diamond. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, John. I know that there's tonal variations to different things, adds appreciating. Yes, appreciating. We're talking about the marbling, and I know you do it. Waste of time. I don't
Yeah.
care. We'll argue this at another time. Waste of time on armor. Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
once you get all the washes on, all the dirt on, all the dust on, and all that other shit, you're not going to be able to tell them much of the difference on something like this.
No, but if you got a modern tank that has a lot of top flat surfaces, you can get away with it a little bit, right?
Yeah, like I don't know, I might have done that with my Merkava. I can't remember, but like for example, like a modern Leopard 2, like what Rob Riv did. I mean, a lot of that is just black. A lot of it is green. And it's a fairly solid color. So
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it'd be that useful on something like that, but on different, every situation has its own sort of like path. I don't think you can just say, one carte blanche, like that's it. This is how you do it. Like for me, every time I do a model, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. It's sort of like, oh shit, that didn't work out. I guess I got to go this way, sort of thing. So,
yeah, but so like, here's the correlation. So as an artist, when you're drawing things, you're picking the angle of light, and you have to follow that, right, to make it look convincing.
Yeah.
So is it not tempting to apply those techniques to your models?
I just do that with the photography and the lighting and whatnot. Like okay. I'm not into.
So you have other skills then. Right.
Well, what is that stuff that they call it where you kind of do a light thing on the top and a dark thing on the bottom? I've never been a fan of that because it just doesn't. Shading.
Well, he's talking about color modulation, the modulation.
But you can do it subtly, where it all of a sudden it
shifts of light. Yeah, you want it. I mean, it's a scale model.
I'm not saying carte blanche, but some of that stuff looks so phony. It's like it's sort of like a trend. It's like, oh, I've just invented the newest way of doing model building, and like, look at me, aren't I important? It's like, Jesus Christ, guy, it's just a fucking model. Like
it looks like a cartoon.
Right, it's like something out of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like that's one thing about the model community is like, there's this sort of like celebrity mode that people are trying to reach, and it's just sort of funny. I kind of came up with that guy that does the oil painting. What does he call it?
Ronaldo?
Yeah, what does he call it?
Oil paint rendering.
No, yeah. But you know what that is? That's just painting with oil paint. That's what it is.
Well, that's all everybody's got to use the foo-foo terminologies. It's called painting, asshole.
Yeah.
Everything's like all these terms. It's called using a fucking airbrush.
Yeah.
With painting it.
Like, come on. Don't be so pretentious. It's
well, listen to the newest episode 44 that dropped tonight. You'll hear me go off about like keeping up with the Joneses in the hobby, how people feel like they always got to try to keep up with all the techniques and keep up with everybody because it's the way the hobby's become. We do talk about that for a good 10 minutes on the show. It's actually pretty funny. I thought I heard it today.
Well, just to finish up, here is like my family so far of RSOs.
Yeah, you got problems, man. Serious issues. you need to seek help.
How many times have you broken that hood off?
Oh shit!
What the hell's going on here?
Sorry, I got a call coming in, and
All right, well, you scared the shit out of me, man. And now we just got kicked off of YouTube for fucking copyrighted music.
Yeah.
Fucking Jimi Hendrix, is that right?
I should have put it on Do Not Disturb.
Listen, Jet, you've already disappointed me once already tonight. Now you disappoint me the second time. Don't let there be a third.
Okay, I got to do this before my wife calls.
No, I'm only kidding, man. Listen, it's a perfect time because we're going on about an hour and a half, so it's a good time to start. Look at banging again, man. You've been banging all night. All these hands, this guy.
Not me, motherfucker.
Not you. It's Jet. Nah,
Jet. That's okay. You can edit that out, bro.
There's no editing. It's live. It's uploading as we speak to YouTube forever. Listen, in all seriousness, Jet, you do some really good stuff, man. And you know what? Some of those stuff like the leopards and stuff, I've never seen you show that before. I've never seen it. So you did a really, really good job on that. I know a lot of people really enjoyed looking at that. And we didn't really get into techniques at all, but I don't think you really need to talk about that. I think it was just pretty cool.
That's what his YouTube channel's for. So if you want to learn the techniques, go there.
Jet scale modeling on YouTube. Definitely go there. Give a sub. It costs nothing. It costs nothing. Just like
check your subs right now. I bet you've got more than one already.
Right. If the thing is if anybody isn't sub to our channel, give a sub. It doesn't cost anything. Give a like to the video. It gets it out there.
This was really come on into the build room, guys. I mean, you'll get entertained by Big Daddy, and you'll get to hear the latest gossip of Rob Adams. And
that's true. Yeah, definitely got to join them. If a lot of people in here have come into the build rooms, everybody should. We'll be in there after the show's over. I'll be in there. Frank and I sit in the bunk. Look at this guy. anybody wants to laugh their ass off tonight, just go to the newest episode of this show. Definitely stay until the end and listen to the outtakes. In my opinion, the last like minute and a half of outtakes is some of the best outtakes, that we've ever done on the show. It's freaking hysterical, right, Frank? It's pretty
Absolutely.
funny.
Yeah, I had a good listen to
You
it.
got to listen to that. It's hysterical. And listen, Jet, you do some really good stuff, and we're really glad you came on tonight. Just the artwork alone that you showed at the beginning is a really interesting aspect of the hobby that people aren't really aware of, and how much work and what time it takes to do the box art.
And
people,
not only that, but the fact that he actually used models to help him do the art,
right?
And
get
the right angles,
and it's funny because Rob from Red Beach is like, oh yeah, I know that box art. Yeah, it's because it's his, and people don't realize. People think that like these box arts are done by people who work for the company and like in China. No, they commission that out. Like you, Ron Volstadt, that guy Jason, who's been doing a lot of box arts. There's a couple other people. But it's really amazing.
Jason's done a lot of box art
recently, over the last year or two. Yeah, he's done a lot.
He's multi-talented. He does figures and stuff too, doesn't he?
He does that too. Yeah,
figure sculpting. He does it. Like Jason had sent me all the accessories for the M113 in 16 scale when I did the article for the magazine. I wound up giving that to Art Roberti, who did an awesome cover for AV Modeler for his. I wound up giving him a lot of my stuff. Value gear and that Jason Studios stuff for his build for that article, and it's great stuff, man. Right? Everybody enjoyed themselves looking at Jet. Now everybody who knows Jet from the build rooms thinks of Jet as like this very weird, strange man. You realize he's not. Well, he's strange, but he's weird. He's not as strange as I thought he was.
Pretty
right?
fucking strange.
Yeah,
I'm unique.
There's those days where you come in and Jet's waking up and he doesn't have a shirt on. You're like, Jet, can you fucking put a shirt on, please? You know,
say good night to Wilhelm, will you please?
See, it's all coming out now. His weirdness is here. This is, you see it, right? Yeah, everybody's really enjoying the show. So we're gonna, Jet, you had a good time?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I'm really glad that I met you, Rob, in the cyberspace, and of course, Big Daddy. I've never met anybody who is such an approachable, friendly, kind, funny guy.
Oh, are we talking about the same
Rob
Frank
Adams?
Monty?
Rob Adams. I'm here for you, bro. If you ever want to talk.
Yeah, we need an intervention from Rob Adams. Needs another intervention soon. Yeah, right. Thanks, Rob, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
I don't know what we're gonna do. I like to do another on the bench for next show with a bunch of guys, people again.
Well, then let's do it.
Well, it's
make it happen.
Is this the last Friday then? Today is, isn't it?
No, next Friday is the last Friday, right?
Well, that's when we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usually. I think we're gonna do another on the bench for next week. I think maybe we'll get 5 or 6 or 7 people on, talk about their work. So you know what? We'll put a post up on the Facebook page and see if anybody wants to be on the Facebook.
Would it be too soon for me to come on again?
Yes.
You could. I mean, you had your own show. But we'll get you on.
The answer is yes. Fuck off.
But we wanted to. Yeah. So maybe we'll do another on the bench. Show next Friday.
Next Friday. It would be a week.
And tomorrow night, me, Dave Goldfinch, and Whitey are going to record our best sci-fi movie episode for the After Dark little things we're doing between the On the Bench, the Geeks, and the Insanity. So
going to be talking a lot about 2001: Space Odyssey.
No, that is not a number. That is not on my list. That movie sucks. Terrible movie, man. Terrible. But you got to listen to the show because we're recording tomorrow night, so I'm really excited to give Dave Goldfinch a hard time, and he's on our show. I'm recording it this time, so I make the rules this time, Mr. Goldfinch.
You know what you need to do is just make up a whole bunch of rules.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write my rules on our show. Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of them, though. You can't do this. You can't say that. You can't do.
I
can't wait. I'm gonna
this fucking time. I gotta think about the intro music. I was like, oh, you should try. But listen, our shows aren't monetized on the podcast, so I have used copyrighted music before, like when I did the Top Gun debate with Whitey and stuff like that. I mean, but you don't want to push it, but I think there's a time limit. I think you can go like 10 seconds. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't want to use our regular.
I already told you the one to use.
I know you did, and I think it's a good idea. What I want to do is, Rob is going to give some promotion to Jet, definitely. I mean, this guy's great. But yeah, so I got to figure out how I want to do the intros because I don't want to just do the insanity music. I want to do something different. So
Yeah.
I got to figure something out, and we'll have a couple of days after we record to think about what we're going to.
You know, if you want to have some more discussion about leopards, I still have a couple other ones I didn't actually like provide.
Listen, Jet, your time is over.
We're good on leopards.
It's over, Jet. It's
Cougars
over.
are way more.
Now, Rod Schleppers.
Oh.
We could talk about Rod Schleppers for the next hour.
All right, we're gonna try to sign off here, guys. So we do really appreciate everybody coming on tonight. This was a fun show. Jet, good friend, man. We're glad you came on. We're gonna be in the room. I'll be in the room. Oh, I'm banging here now too. I'm gonna be in the room after this show. I don't know if Rob Adams is tired. Look at him, he's already stoned. He's ready to go to bed. Definitely listen to episode 44. No risk, no reward. That's the name of it. That's the title of the show. So no risk, no reward is the name of the title of the episode 44, and it's actually really good. So give it a listen. It's fun. So all right, some feedback. Frankie, thanks again. All right. So for the Modeling Insanity podcast and TV, I'm Rob Rev with Frankie Donati.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Mr. Rob Adams.
Have a good evening, everyone.
And our special guest here, Mr. Jet Scale Modeling.
Auf Wiedersehen.
All right, guys.
Or as I like to say on my channel, in the meantime and in between time, that's another edition of Modeling Insanity TV.
You just fucking ruined it, Jet. Jesus, what did
Cut it out.
We should have went to the end screen before we even started talking. What did I do, man? It's terrible judgment on my part. I got to think about this next time.
Well,
all right, I'm only
kidding.
kidding. Of course, guys. Listen, everybody in the chat. Again, we always appreciate everybody coming in. We're all friends at the Insanity. I really do appreciate it. In the Discord after this, if anybody wants to have a couple of laughs and talk, I have a couple of choice words for a few of you who made some disparaging comments tonight in the chat. So wait till I get in there. All right, guys. So be safe, and we will catch you on the flip side. And Frank, you better not say any stupid shit in the 4 seconds that this keeps going. All right.
He does it every time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Be good.